Bachelor in Paradise alum Joe Amabile is breaking his silence about Becca Kufrin's departure from the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast. After it was announced that Michelle Young and Becca Kufrin were being replaced by newlyweds Joe Amabile and Serena Pitt, Thomas Jacobs didn't seem overly joyed with the news. These couples have all been friends, so fans wondered if the change put a strain on their friendships. Keep reading to find out what Joe had to say about it all. Bibe alum Joe Amabile and new wife Serena Pitt took over hosting duties on the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast recently. Fans have speculated that the switch could have taken a toll on Joe and Serena's friendship with Becca Kufrin and Thomas Jacobs. Now, he's opening up about what went down between them. Becca's fiancé Thomas didn't seem to be on board with his bride-to-be leaving the podcast. His comments on social media led everyone to believe that things were perhaps not handled well behind the scenes. This left questions as to how the friendship between these two couples was holding up. US Weekly shared what Joe had to say about how this announcement affected their friendship. He said, "When we were offered Happy Hour, we're friends with Becca and her fiancé, Thomas Jacobs. They are invited to our wedding. I had called Becca and just kinda let her know." He went on to say, "And I think she had heard and she honestly said nothing but nice things. We get along and I was just kinda like, this is the situation. And she was happy for me and happy for Serena. And I know Thomas expressed his feelings online." Thomas had gone on Instagram and expressed that he hasn't liked how things were being handled behind the scenes over the past several months. He even noted Becca and Michelle Young would have liked the opportunity to go and say farewell to their followers in one last podcast. However, that did not happen. Thomas also expressed that he and Becca will not be tuning in to watch the new season of The Bachelorette featuring Charity Lawson. But with his feelings toward it all, is he having issues with Joe and Serena? Joe also shared that Thomas also reached out to him about the switch. He said, "We're on great terms with them, no issue." Joe and Serena both admit they have big shoes to fill. Serena shared that Becca and Michelle both reached out to offer congrats to her and Joe. She said their relationships are all fine. What do you think about them taking over the podcast? Do you think their relationships are all still really okay? Stay tuned for more updates.